Why do people like to drink alcohol? Alcohol is one of the oldest beverages of humankind, appearing since prehistoric times, around 7,000 to 10,000 years BCE. The appearance of alcohol. The first recorded alcoholic beverage was a fermented drink made from rice, honey, and fruit, dating back to around 7,000 BCE in China. Wine and other fruits. Grain wines were also produced in the Mesopotamian region, Hyundai, Iran, and Egypt during this period. Beer emerged almost simultaneously with wine. Archaeological evidence shows that the Sumerians in Mesopotamia knew how to make beer from barley as early as the 5th millennium BC, around 7000 BC. Since then, alcoholic beverages have appeared in almost every ancient civilization: the ancient Egyptians, the Greeks, the Chinese, the Vikings, and even primitive tribes. Humans have been drinking alcohol for thousands of years, before science understood how the brain works. Why? Because alcohol taps into something humans have always lacked: relaxation, a sense of belonging, and temporary escape from pain. Homer Simpson, famous cartoon character from The Simpsons, to alcohol, the cause of, and the solution to all of life's problems. And for many people, alcohol is what helps them endure life more easily for a short time. Today, alcohol is widely used in many aspects of social life. It frequently appears as a catalyst in communication at parties, celebrations, weddings, or gatherings with friends. According to the latest World Population Report, Eastern and Western European countries consistently lead the world in per capita consumption, including spirits, wine, and beer. Romania, 17.1 liters, person, year world leader. Georgia, 15.5 liters, person, year. Latvia, 14.7 liters, person, year. Ranking by total consumption volume global. China, 40.5 billion liters. Nearly 21% of the global market share. USA, 22.3 billion liters. Brazil, 15.3 billion liters. Ranking by per capita global peak. Czech Republic, 152 liters, person, year consistently leads the world for many years. What are the effects of alcohol, and why is it so addictive? Alcohol provides temporary stress relief. When you drink alcohol, dopamine levels increase in the brain, creating a feeling of relaxation and reducing anxiety. That's why people who are shy become more talkative, sad people feel better, and lonely people feel closer to others. In many cultures, a drinking session is not just a place to drink. It's a place for sharing stories, making agreements, relieving stress, and connecting. There are things people, when sober, wouldn't dare say, but they blurt out after a few drinks. Alcohol creates a feeling of escaping oneself. What makes alcohol dangerous isn't its strength, but rather its ability to lull people into a dreamlike state, temporarily forgetting failure, pressure, loneliness, insecurity. A tired worker after a long day, someone heartbroken, someone under financial pressure. They don't turn to alcohol because they like the taste of alcohol. They seek the feeling, at least for a few hours I don't have to think. And that's when alcohol begins to become a mental refuge. A small amount of alcohol can have some physiological effects. Some studies have shown that small amounts of wine can support circulation, promote relaxation, and increase social engagement. But what modern science is increasingly confirming is the benefits of alcohol are often greatly exaggerated. Many new studies show that there is no level of drinking that is completely absolutely safe. The most dangerous thing about alcohol: it doesn't destroy immediately. If drugs are like a storm, then alcohol is like seawater corroding metal, slow, silent, but persistent. No one realizes they're changing after a few drinks. Everything happens very slowly. First harmful effect: loss of self-control. Alcohol directly affects the brain regions that control reason, morality, judgment, and emotional restraint. That's why even gentle people can become aggressive, quiet people can suddenly become agitated, and rational people can act foolishly. The philosopher Aristotle once said, "The strongest man is the one who controls himself." And alcohol is the first thing that weakens that ability. Alcohol makes people think they are stronger than they actually are, which is extremely dangerous. When drunk, reflexes are reduced, judgment is impaired, but confidence increases. People think, "I can still drive. I'm still sober and in control." But the brain is already functioning distortedly. Many dangerous accidents begin with the thought, "It'll probably be okay." Alcohol destroys the body in the most insidious way. The liver is the first to suffer. The liver has to process alcohol continuously. Long-term drinking leads to fatty liver disease, hepatitis, and cirrhosis. Even more frightening, the liver can be severely damaged before the body shows clear signs. Many people continue to eat and live normally until the disease is discovered too late. Long-term brain damage can lead to memory loss, decreased concentration, and mood swings, increased risk of depression and anxiety. Some studies show that the brains of long-term alcoholics may shrink in certain functional areas. It particularly affects gray matter, the volume of the cerebral cortex, and white matter, the nerve fibers connecting different regions of the brain. Alcohol destroys relationships. Many people think drinking is a personal matter, but the consequences of alcohol rarely affect just one person. Many broken families, violence, and accidents are related to losing control while drinking. The writer Leo Tolstoy once wrote, "Every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way." And in many families, alcohol is the silent trigger of that unhappiness. Why do many people drink alcohol even though they know it's harmful? Because people aren't just addicted to alcohol. They're also addicted to the feeling of belonging, the feeling of liberation, the feeling of forgetting life's hardships. Many people don't really want to drink. They just don't want to face pressure, loneliness, failure, emptiness. Alcohol is like an emotional pause button. But the problem is, when they wake up, everything is still the same. Drinking culture and social pressure. In many places, drinking alcohol is no longer a choice. It has become a matter of politeness, a way to fit in, a way to prove one's manliness. Those who don't drink are sometimes seen as unenthusiastic, weak, unsociable. That's an invisible pressure. Philosopher Søren Kierkegaard once said, "The crowd often makes people lose themselves." Many people drink not because they enjoy it, but because they fear being separated from the group. The line between enjoyment and addiction is very thin. Not everyone who drinks alcohol becomes addicted, but alcohol addiction often begins with, "I can control it." Initially, drinking on weekends, then drinking when stressed, then drinking to sleep, to have fun, and drinking out of habit. Until one day, the body and mind begin to depend on it, no longer knowing how to live without it. What do people really need? Many people think they need alcohol. But deep down, what they might need is to be listened to rest, to heal, to slow down. Alcohol is only a temporary solution to very deep problems. It's like using noise to mask the silence in the soul. Alcohol isn't entirely bad. The problem is that most people find it hard to stop at the right time. One drink might be relaxing. 10 drinks might be destructive. Until the consequences start to appear: health, money, dignity, relationships. People drink alcohol to feel closer, happier, and more at ease. But if left unchecked, it can also take away your health, take away your reason, take away the people who matter most to you. The philosopher Seneca once said, "The most powerful thing is not desire. It is the ability to say enough." And perhaps, Maturity isn't about how much you can drink, but about knowing what truly controls your life.